Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to the Roundtable Network News. I'm your boy, the franchise player, Double B Babble, and I'm joined by Throwback Man from Wicked Crazy Pinfalls. Usually Drew is here. Drew's off buying a car today, so I called in the cleaner. What's up, Throwback?
So great. He makes me Mark all the time and calls me the cleaner. When am I Mr. Clean? Oh shit, I am. And I just saw this. I was gonna send this to you. So there's a thing, a guy that's roaming on Facebook and all the other socials and stuff, and I picked it up. And one of the things he's talking about Gen X and stuff like that. And he's like, you know who are the in-betweeners? The redheaded stepchilds. And I'm like,
Wow.
I'm like,
Well, with that being said, let's jump into the news. The news has been really
but
wild this week. The news has been really wild this week. In case you guys haven't been watching, there's been a lot of drama in the women of wrestling area. Wow. Surrounding the Tonga twins, who went on Twitter the other day and posted something on Twitter. So the Tonga twins have been accused of bullying and threatening and injuring talent within WoW. Okay. Simone Williams and Heidi Holzer chimed in. There was a statement released by the Tonga twins announcing their departure from WoW, the women of wrestling. They noted that they would no longer be seen on the program because they spoke out. The duo mentioned the following in their joint statement: "You can't do this to good people who sacrificed their family. Seen on the program because wait, hold on. So evil." In response to that, former WoW Women's World Champion Princess Aussie Simone Williams, she also released a statement of her own accusing Kona and Chaos of bullying and threatening talent. She added that they were let go and they did not leave WoW on their own. This was the statement. WoW has many flaws and it had a ton of growing pains to go, both good and bad decisions along the way. But with that happening right now, it is not right. The Tonga twins were let go. They did not quit. The Tonga twins were called out because of their own actions of bullying talent, threatening to inflict harm on talents, and acting off-brand, offline. All of which is documented, and hopefully, for their sakes, it doesn't make it online. Women's empowerment isn't about burning a company to the ground and taking everyone's jobs away from them because you didn't like being told no. When just hours before being let go, you're sending locker room leaders motivational speeches in a company-wide group chat. Wow, has a long way to go. But I'll be damned if I let the ego of two very well treated and pushed talent speak out on behalf of all of us in spite. Heidi Holzer, who competed for WoW from 2022 to 2023, backed that comment, echoing Simone's comments by saying the Tonga twins have injured talent as such as herself. She had to go to the ER and requested her release after the situation. Damn. WoW can be criticized for many things, but these women stand for, they'll speak out for each other's groups and grow other girls along. All other girls only receive favoritism while bullying and injuring others. The entire time crying sisterhood. I went to the ER due to the negligence and improper training. So basically, she's saying that they were improperly trained. I requested my release directly after that incident. They also bullied a close friend of mine with several injuries after she spoke up. The Tonga twins have not reached out for comment. Neither has Williams nor Holzer. And for more information, it will become available at Post Wrestling. That was Post Wrestling's response to our Post Wrestling story as a response to that. There's been a lot of drama, a lot of things going on. Yes, Husky, it is live. Yes, Husky, we are live. There's been a lot of stuff going on with the Tonga twins. Kelsey Lynn also exited WoW after what happened to the Tonga twins. I can no longer be silent. That's what she said. And that's reported by Andrew Thompson of Post Wrestling. Another exit from WoW. There's been another talent departure from WoW to women of wrestling following the departure of the Tonga twins. Regarding their exit, they noted that they will not be on WoW TV programming because they spoke out. Kelsey Lynn, also known as Vicky Lynn McCoy, tweeted this out. As she is no longer with the promotion, she shared a similar comment to what Kona and Chaos put out, which is speaking up leads to being released. I wanted everyone to know I am no longer with WoW. Speaking up equals release. especially after what happened to the Tonga twins. I can no longer be silent. But now, fuck wow. Expl- exploitation does not equal
Damn.
empowerment. Former WOW Women's Champion Princess Aussie Simone Wilson released her own statement accusing the Tonga twins of bullying and threatening people, like we spoke about earlier. There's been so much drama, and wow, AJ Lee, CM Punk's wife, former WWE Women's Champion, also left WoW a while back. So all I can say is wow, man. There's a lot of things going on at Women of Wrestling.
Wow, just left. Wow.
Wow. Yeah,
It's crazy because it's crazy because it's like, in this day and age where everything has happened, you would think you would have to think twice before you say something or clarify it. And people in this stage, it's I'm not going to say there's anything different from generations. Our generation, we were bullied as kids, and literally sometimes, depending on the person, it made me one way where I'm more passive due to what has happened to me. In other ways it hasn't. It's just crazy how things happen.
It is. Speaking of things happening, let's talk about the Mass Republic WWE and AEW situation.
Great.
That's your story.
What, what did you say? Because you cut out for a second.
Mass Republic
Sorry.
president discusses their Lucha Libre agency negotiation contract for WWE and AEW.
That one.
Insight into negotiation for talent that are represented by the Lucha Libre Association, known as Mass Republic. President of Mass Republic, good friend of mine, talked about this situation earlier. Basically, from the 511 edition of Busted Open Radio with Denise Salcedo and Tommy Dreamer, Kevin Kleinrock opened the show. Kleinrock is the president and CEO of Mass Republic. He talked about Mass Republic's Lucha Libre agency negotiating with both AEW and WWE contracts for talent such as Dragon Lee, Roos, Julistico, the Beast Immortals, formerly known as Turus, the Lucha Bros, Ray Phoenix, and Penta El Zero Miedo. When it comes to Dragon Lee and the WWE, he is not able to do new projects with Mass Republic because of his exclusive contract with the WWE. But the Mass Republic were also able to put projects in this deal, such as being a release of Dragon Lee's action figure, the middle school grade book series with his brothers Roosh and Rulistico. So they still have a deal. Like he still has a deal where he can actually do things. So Kevin Kleinrock states, and then there's wrestlers we represent throughout the Lucha Libre agency who get a little bit more of the white glove treatment. So if someone needs to negotiate with AEW, WWE, TNA, MLW, whatever, we will handle their negotiations for them. Oftentimes, this leads to better contracts, not necessarily on the money side per se, but our talent that are in AEW are still able to license their merchandise and entertainment projects with no issues. So Roosh and Julistico, they can do that. Originally, we have done the Lucha Bros contract, the Beast Mordos, so they have the kind of special abilities in their contract, so they can do things like that. They were signed to the Legends of Lucha Libre and Mass Republic before they went to AEW, even before Dragon Lee was going to WWE. While we can't do anything with any new projects with him because of the exclusive the WWE contract, we do have a number of projects in the pipeline, from the action figures to the middle grade school book series, and all this other cool stuff. Basically, Kevin Kleinrock represents a lot of the luchas that wrestle in AEW, WWE, MLW, all these other companies around the country, around the world. Ray Phoenix was currently sidelined with an injury, but he'll be back, and he was supposed to wrestle Penta at the House of Glory show, but he got pulled because of that injury. So hopefully Ray Phoenix is doing good. A lot of news stories, man. A lot of news stories. Let's talk about the VIPs that are gone from the WWE.
Really? That's crazy. Oh, dude, I haven't gotten that message from you.
Okay.
I'm
VIPs of
been
international events GM of Emerging Markets and Senior Director of TV Events Relations, has gone from the WWE. It looks like Throwback is also gone from the stream. So I'll go ahead and handle this by myself. Two executives are gone from the WWE. So this is according to Mike Johnson from the PWI Insider. It looks like Throwback is back.
Sorry, the computer's been acting out too.
So according to Mike Johnson from PWI Insider, Mike Levine finished up his 7-year tenure as Vice President of International Events and General Manager of Emerging Markets. The site notes that he exited the company at some point over the past several days. He also worked out of the WWE's office in London, which is crazy because they just were over in Paris for last week's pay-per-view Backlash. His position was phased out due to the grouping of the UFC and WWE with the TKO Group holdings now being in place. Per the report, Levine was in attendance at Backlash in France. He wrote about the event on his LinkedIn page. This is what he stated. Amazing weekend for Lions and the first ever WWE live TV and premium live event in France. The crowd was unlike anything I've ever seen. That was crazy. Highest grossing Friday night SmackDown in company history, highest grossing arena event in company history, highest grossing event in company history in France. That is a lot of highest. Okay, that is unbelievable. That show was unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Couldn't have done it without our incredible partner David Rochelle and his team, and the face of the WWE in France, Philippe Chiron and Christopher Aguas, who helped build this rabid fan base over the year. And thanks to the team of LDLC, the arena, for hosting this beautiful event in their new arena. Merci beaucoup. We will be back. So during the summer of 2029, Levine was promoted to Vice President of International Events and GM of Emerging Marketplace roles. FIFO Select also states that Steve Rubin is also gone from the WWE as well. Rubin was the company's senior director of TV events. He was employed with the WWE for 26 long years. Started as a production assistant. Yeah, man. Started as a production assistant. He also left the same time Levine did.
It's crazy, like all these people, or it's like a max exodus of WWE people that have worked for the company for like
stuff. 26 years is a long time, man. Like that's longer than most people have been alive.
Majority of your adult life, if that.
Yeah, but yeah, and think about that. Working for the same company, that's a long time.
Yeah, and it's very rare that happens too. Like for me, hearing all these people, especially the person you were talking about that got the biggest gates and everything, wouldn't you want to keep somebody that made you more money and got all these highest grossing stuff? It's madness as a business aspect because it doesn't make any sense unless you're cutting the cost and getting ready to burn WWE again and sell it to another person and stuff. But it doesn't make any sense. Why get rid of somebody that's that talented in their company and that smart, that's in a position to make it even better for years to come? It doesn't make sense.
I don't think it's him getting rid of someone. I just think that person was moving on to another position. Speaking of another positions, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
When you want to get your hair cut, you go get your hair cut right. You head down to Big D's Barbershop. Big D's Barbershop, Vancouver, Washington's best and brightest. 1019 Main Street, Vancouver, Washington, where you can go get your hair lined up, cuts, fades, shampoos, conditions, and all the great things that go with supporting a local barbershop in a local business area. You can also reach them online at www.bigdsbarbershop.com. Go get your hair cut right.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, it's Angelina Love, one half of The Beautiful People and one half of NWA's Psycho Love. and you are watching the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast.
And we are back. Thank you to the lovely Angelina Love for that plug. So let's talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. As a man who spent the majority of his wrestling career working for the National Wrestling Alliance, I am pleased to announce that the NWA is to crown a Mid-America champion at Back to the Territories live on June 1st. On June 1st, a new Mid-America champion will be crowned. Come June 1st, the National Wrestling Alliance will be presenting their Back to the Territories events in Knoxville, Tennessee. The organization made the announcement at the event that they will be crowning a new NWA Mid-America champion in nearly 40 years. Like, this title has been dormant for 40 years. The title history started with Buddy Rogers in 1957. The last champion was Jerry the King Lawler, WWE Hall of Famer. Jerry the King Lawler was the last NWA Mid-America champion, and he won that title in 1987. He won it from Jeff Jarrett, of all people. And here's what the NWA had to say about the belt. The NWA crowns its first NWA Mid-America champion in nearly 40 years. Back to the Territories. For generations, one of the most sought-after titles in the National Wrestling Alliance was the Mid-America Championship. Launched by legendary promoter Nick Gallus in 1940, a veritable who's who of professional wrestling defended the title over the generations and territories and all across the central United States. This belt's lineage starts with the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, Hall of Fame stars like Harley Race, Randy Savage, Jackie Fargo, Jeff Jarrett, and Jerry the King Lawler have claimed the strap over the course of the nearly 50 years of his existence. This is one of the most legendary belts in the NWA, said Joe Galley of the decision to revive the championship after nearly 40 years. With the NWA growing territory partnership, it seems only appropriate to have the title defended throughout their power promotions with the national ranking implications. The company's senior director, senior broadcast, continues with the NWA's Mid-Atlantic with NWA World Championships growing along. On May 14th, the NWA Unscripted series is going to begin airing on the CW network. It's titled Billy Corgan's Adventures in Carneyland. So Billy Corgan's Adventures in Carneyland, NWA crowning the first Mid-American champion in 40 years. As a former NWA Continental Heavyweight Champion, NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion, NWA Western States Heritage Champion, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the NWA do something that I suggested they do years ago. Go back to the territories. That's what made the NWA famous. That's what made the NWA worldwide. The Mid-American Championship, in my opinion, is a good way to start. Shout out to Billy Corgan and the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, that's awesome. It gives people more opportunities, and like you said in the past, to me, more eyes, and going for a different forecast for tomorrow. Alexa, stop. Everything goes wrong when you at least expect it. It literally will give more eyes. You've said in the past that a lot of people deserve the opportunity to get seen, whether it's on television, whether it's just regular shows, but it's going to bring more eyes into NWA. And hell, you have a track record too of suggesting stuff, and look what happens on TV and shows and stuff like that. So I mean,
I know they're watching these shows. I know they're watching these shows, and that's the reason why some of these things happen. Shout out to my boy Homicide. Shout out to EC3, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. And keep in mind, I said world because there's only one world champion, not worlds. I hate when people say world's heavyweight champion. Like, how many worlds are you champion of? But that's just my opinion. We don't stress our own opinions on this show. So yeah. And our final story of the day. Kenny Omega undergoing surgery. Kenny Omega was on his Twitch stream the other day, and Kenny Omega talked. Do you have this story, by the way?
No, but I'm following what you're saying because you didn't send it to me.
So on his live Twitch stream, Kenny Omega shared that he is set to undergo surgery soon. The AEW star had been out of action since December when he discovered he had diverticulitis. To keep in mind, diverticulitis is the same thing that Brock Lesnar had.
Mm-hmm.
Is a very, very, very dangerous illness to have. Kenny Omega announced that he'll be having surgery on the diverticulitis. For saying that 5 times fast. Very, very soon. He said that the top surgeon in this field will be performing this procedure. He said that prior to meeting the surgeon, he was considering retirement. He now believes he'll be able to come back better than ever and stronger than he was before. So the belt collector says he's ready to come back. He has undergone an impression that he was under the impression that his diverticulitis, try saying that 5 times fast, was actually a hernia, but no, it's actually his body fighting diverticulitis. So Kenny Omega undergoing surgery soon to remove the diverticulitis. Let's hope it's let's hope it works, because Kenny Omega, staple in AEW. Go ahead.
Body too, so him taking care of that stuff is a huge thing. Like your body is no joke. Look what I'm going through. For example, Dick. I'm not gonna say it because you've had a hard time, and I'm starting to. But your body, you only have one body for your entire life, and I'm learning now that everything that you push back and you don't notice or anything, it comes back to you real quick. So it's a good thing he's taking care of it. Like with him being on AEW TV recently, I kind of was like concerned about his health just because of the fact that they were talking about it heavily and stuff. But when he comes back, man, you've got options, dude. You got so many options with matches. You can have him with Christian, him versus Adam Copeland, him versus, so many matches you could have with him when he gets back into full health.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, man. So I like to end this show every week, and this is one of Drew's favorites, and we call this day in wrestling history. Today in wrestling history was Steve Austin's final appearance in WCW. New York rescinds a ban on tag team wrestling today in history. And on this day, Kenta Kobashi retires from the world of professional wrestling. Paul Diamond was born in Croatia today. Happy birthday, Paul Diamond. Let's see what else happened today in wrestling history. Billy Kidman was born today. Happy birthday, Billy Kidman.
That's awesome.
Born in 1974. Billy Kidman is now 50 years old. Happy birthday, Billy Kidman. Don and Johnny. Look, okay, so here's another one that I'm going to leave out. I'm going to say this for the last time before we go. Don and Johnny Fargo defeated Dominic DeNucci and Tony Persisi to win the National Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles in Cleveland, Ohio. Johnny Fargo is Greg the Hammer Valentine's legitimate name. Bobby Roode was born today. Happy birthday, Bobby Roode.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of great things happened today. And this one is for our good friend Julian, aka the mixologist. Today, 1979, Hector Guerrero and Barry Orton, otherwise known as Barry O, the uncle of Randy Orton, defeated the Twin Devils for the NWA America's Tag Team Championships in Los Angeles, California. So, man, a lot of things happened today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here on the Roundtable Network News. I'm the franchise. That's Throwback. Dudes, join us for AEW Collision stream later today, live on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. We talk about wrestling. We love wrestling. Remember, it is May. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. Don't be afraid to ask for help, ladies and gentlemen. It is okay to not be okay.